God, our Father and our Lord Jesus Christ, I want to welcome you to another amazing episode of Take Action. Now, I want you to not change the dial. Of course, I'm not Pastor Keion, but I am tremendously blessed to be able to address his audience and those who he brings leadership to. I thank God for this opportunity to address you. It's always a privilege. It's always an honor to be able to minister to the people of God. And we're praying for him. But I promise you, listen to me, God has a word for you. You have been set up today that this word, I believe, is going to be life-changing. First of all, I want to just remind you of what God is doing in our ministry and in our midst. I want to give you an update because we've tagged this as the month of winning. We have tagged this as the year of wealth and wisdom. And I'm telling you, I don't understand why people don't serve God, because he has done more than I ever expected. He's done more than we ever expected. And so I want to just give you an update on how God is blessing some of you all, his people, since Sunday, right? This is only Tuesday. Since Sunday, our miracle report has increased by $157,000 and $154,000 has been the increase just since Sunday. We are now standing at a grand total of $51,908,105. Like, it's mind-blowing, the stuff that God is doing. These numbers it's got the right name. It's a miracle report because God is miraculously canceling debt and increasing income. And Pastor Keion told us that it wasn't over with the college fund relief. And did y'all see what Joe Biden just decided to do? I'm telling you, there's a prophetic atmosphere here at the Lighthouse Church, all the campuses, and right here on Take Action. Listen, that's not it. In refunds and people, we're not just talking about money or debt being erased, but people receiving money. We are at $660,898.96. I don't know what else to tell you. Listen, I don't even want you to wait until I'm done teaching to start giving. If that there is not enough for you to say, Lord, I need to sow into this, I don't know what will be. So I don't even want you to wait. I want you to start giving now. At the end of this, we'll give you a reminder, but I want you to just go ahead because you've heard the goodness of the Lord. You've seen what God is doing, and you know what kind of ground this is. I want to tell you that in this month of winning, God is so good. Before I even knew that I was going to need to be on this platform, I was meditating and the Lord gave me this word. He kept talking to me about time. He kept talking to me about time. And so there is a word that I want to share with you in this winning season that I believe is in your heart and that God has shared with me even before I knew I would be talking to you. Here's what I want to talk about tonight. It's a question that I believe many of you have. It's, when will I win? Right? W-H-E-N, when will I W-I-N? Some of you are wondering, when is it going to be my turn? When is it going to be my time? And so when we task this as winning, the month of winning, and we say this is the year of wealth and wisdom, can I just be honest? Because I want you to be honest with me, and we're in the chat. I want y'all to I want y'all to share, please. I need many of you to share this because this is about to be powerful. Trust me. And I feel it brewing. I feel the anointing already. You're asking yourself this question, and when we tag these seasons, you find it hard. You get excited, but it's shallow. You clap, you give God praise, but in your heart of hearts, for many of you, it's hard because you just don't believe that God's going to do it for you, and you just don't see how it's going to work out. And so I want to share a word with you that I've never shared before. God started speaking to me on Saturday about this word. I come to church Sunday, and pastor is preaching something similar. Some of the things will be similar. You'll see the connections. And it was just God just kind of confirming his word, because he knew we would be here together on this platform today. And so I want you to focus in, because God's got something that he's about to give you that is life-changing. Share this with somebody. Like it, love it. Give me the fire emojis as we're teaching today. The clapping hands. I need the energy around this, because it's about to be life-changing. The most pertinent question when you're going through anything, because when you're talking about it being your winning season, and you're talking about it being a year of wealth and wisdom, you got to know, the Bible says, for I reckon that the suffering of this present time is not worthy to be compared to the glory that shall be, right? What the Bible teaches us is that seasons of winning and seasons of wealth and wisdom are preceded by seasons of suffering. Are y'all with me? So the pertinent question when you're going through tough seasons is, I'm waiting on God, and I know I'm waiting on what he promised me, and I'm going through this tough season, and I'm just waiting on him. And I believe in what he promised me. I'm trying to believe what I saw. But the most pertinent question that is asked is, when, Lord? Like, I'm trying to believe that you're going to do what you said you would do. I'm trying to trust that it's going to work the way you said it will work, but when will it happen? When will it happen? I know that the issue with many of us is the timing of God, because it is so hard sometimes to just wait on God. And so I got some things that are going to be life-changing. If you could just stick with me for maybe the next 20 to 30 minutes, just somewhere in that time frame, I'm going to try to do my best to let this word change your life. Let's go real quick to the book of Ecclesiastes real quickly. Go there quickly. It probably is showing up on the screen. I want you to understand this. If you're asking God when it's going to happen, when am I going to win? I need you to understand this first thing. To everything, there is a season and a time. Now hear me, because we read the Bible too quick sometimes. The Bible is very purposeful. It says there is a season and a time for everything. It separates the two for a reason, because the word time in the original Hebrew, it suggests an event or an occasion, which means you can be in the season for something, but still waiting on the time for something. I need you to hear me, and I'm getting way too excited. But the seasons change, and I can sense the season, and sometimes the frustration is that I know that I'm in the season, but it's not yet the time for it. And I want you to be encouraged tonight. Very early, I want to start with the encouragement and mingle the encouragement in with the teaching, because you can't be frustrated because you feel the season changing, but it has not come to your time yet. If you're in the season and it's supposed to happen in summer, when you feel summer coming, you ought to get excited, because you know that must mean the time is drawing near. And we're going to make it make sense in just a minute. And so some of you are frustrated because you sense the season, but you have not come yet to the time. And your win, your miracle is coming. It's just got to be the right time. This word time is an interesting word, and there are just two real quick that I want to share with you that we kind of bounce back and forth with. One of them is the word chronos. That's the Hebrew word for time. One of the Hebrew words for time. It means chronological. Is where we get our word chronological order from. It means I have to wait my turn. It means 2 comes after 1. It means 3 comes after 2. It means 4 comes after 3. I have to wait in order. But then there's the word kairos that suggests due season. That when the season comes and God determines that it is my time, that is when it's going to turn around for me. that you must understand that God has fashioned a particular time for you to win and a particular time for this miraculous thing that you are believing for, that he has promised you to come to pass. That it is literally sitting in an epoch or a dispensation or a time frame waiting to be released to you. You must understand time if you're going to walk in faith, because God is a God of time. He is very much a God who will do things in his time, in so much that we do know certain things can expedite time. That's not what I want to talk to you about tonight, but we do know that Jesus told his mother, it's not my time, but because of her faith, and she told them gave them some instructions, and because they did it, he went on ahead and worked a miracle, even though he said it wasn't his time. That's for another take action. That's for another message, another lesson at another time. But I need you to understand that because you're in the season and it hasn't quite come to the time yet, you can't be frustrated. What does Revelation 22:13 say? That God is speaking and he says, I am Alpha, hear me, and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. Listen to what he says. We skip through. We love to talk about the Alpha, the Omega, the beginning of the end. The two most important words that he uses is the I am. That's more important than what he's describing. It's more important than the beginning and the end. You've got to get to the I am first, because when God declares I am, it's very powerful. Remember, he told Moses, and Moses says, hey, when I go to Pharaoh, who should I say sent me? God told Moses, he said, just tell them, I am that I am. Tell them I am has sent you. Now, in the Hebrew, that means, and I just want to use that because I want to give you more context of what God is really saying when he says I am. It is, in the Hebrew, it is Ayah, Asher, Ayah. It means I will be that I will be. In other words, I transform. I'm whatever you need me to be. So when he says I am, he's literally saying I am the essence of that thing. If I am Alpha and Omega, if I am it, I can't be limited by it. God is not limited by time. You got to understand how he works. So while we're worried about time and we're concerned about time, because many of you are past what plans you had, you're older than you said you wanted to be. When you wanted to be married, you thought by now you'd be a millionaire. You thought by now this would have worked, this, that, and the other. There's an old adage that says God laughs at our plans. But Abraham teaches us that you're never too old for God to work what he wants to work in your life. You need to understand God and timing. God is not nervous about time. He holds time in his hand. He said, I literally am the beginning and the end. I am it. It's who I am, right? So I can't be limited by what I am. I can't be limited by time because I created time. And there's never a time where the creator is limited by what he created. Y'all hearing me? So give God more credit than to be nervous about time. When am I going to win? When will this miracle come? It's going to come in the timing of God. But it gets more interesting. Understand, when he says, I am the Alpha and Omega, I want you to understand how God works. See, for us, we work from beginning to end, which is why we get nervous about time. We have to read books cognitively from beginning to end to understand them. We walk forward. A lot of what we do goes from beginning to end. But God doesn't do things that way. God goes to the end first. And he works out the end first. And then he comes back to the beginning. He has you to be born, has your mother meet your dad. And then you come into the earth realm. And now he's walking you through the steps of your life, getting you through things, leading up to the beginning or to the time that you're worried about. But God is not worried because God had already worked that thing out. He's literally getting you to something that he has already created for you. He is not reactive as it relates to what you're going through. This is why God does not panic when we're going through anything. This is why God does not panic when you make mistakes, because he already has it set for you the way it's supposed to work out. And I need you to understand, when the enemy is messing with your mind, when the enemy is making you doubt God, when the enemy is messing with whether or not this is going to happen for you, you got to remind the devil, the God that I serve has already worked this thing out. He is the beginning and the end. He has already fashioned my days. He's already worked out how it's going to work out. So your WIN, and you're wondering when it's going to happen, when will I win? When will my season come? When will this miracle happen for me? There is a time fashioned for it. And you're in the season for it. You just got to wait on God's timing for it. I hope somebody's getting this. I need you to share this because I'm getting ready to get a whole lot deeper before we end our time together. Please, I need you to share it. I need you to light up the chat. I need all of the fire emojis. I need all of the hand claps. But please make sure you share this with somebody. Make sure that you are not being selfish, because you're about to win. There's about to be a miraculous season that's about to happen for you. You're done with your seasons of defeat. You're in a season of victory. Don't be selfish. Share this with somebody. And I want you to tap in the chat. Type in the chat. I'm in the season. I'm about to be in the time. Type it in there. I'm in the season. I'm about to be in the time. What did he tell Jeremiah? And this is what blew my mind, because I'm studying this and Pastor preached it Sunday. He said, it's my favorite scripture in the Bible. You can go on my website. It's there. Before I formed you in the belly, I knew thee. Before I formed you, your time was already allotted before you got here. Before I formed you in the belly, Jeremiah, I knew you. And I ordained you a prophet. I didn't wait till you got here to start working out your time. I worked your time before I allowed your father to meet your mother, before you were even formed in the belly, before your mama and daddy went on their first date. I had a plan for you. Are y'all getting this? Now, I feel the power just from this word sitting here in this sanctuary on the other side of this camera. I know you've got to feel what God is doing. Your win, your WIN is set in time. And can I tell you a secret? I need, whoa, Jason, I need y'all to give me a tight shot, please. Here's the secret. The secret is God is not panicked by your trouble. Your troubles, your trials, your tribulations, you not having enough money, your children acting up, your marriage being on the rocks, your depression, all of the things that you're going through that are causing you to be distracted and all. God is not panicked by that. He's already worked out the time. Are y'all with me? Now, here's the key to all of this. Here's the key. We get into the home stretch. The key is you've got to understand the signs of the time. This is so important, and this is so revelatory. Hear me. You must see the signs of the time. The reason why you have the same attitude you have and you're panicked over when it's going to happen is because you're not paying attention to the signs. Signs are so important. God, hear me, works very, very heavily in signs. I want the Holy Spirit to start to minister now. This is very serious. I want the Spirit of God to start ministering to you now. God, I'm asking that you would begin to touch your people and let them focus in right now, because I need you to understand that the God that we serve works in seasons, but there will always be signs that the season and the time is on the way. What does Mark chapter 16 say? Really quickly. It should be on the screen for you. He says, and these signs shall follow them that believe. In my name, they shall cast out devils. They shall speak with new tongues. They shall take up serpents, and if they drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. They shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover. These signs shall follow them that believe. Understand that the word sign there in the original Greek language, it is meant to be a token, or hear me, a mark. In other words, it marks that something else is coming. So we think that the miracles are the fact that we're casting out devils, or the fact that we are speaking in new tongues, or the fact that because you can drink a deadly thing, it's not going to harm you. But what God is teaching us is that miracles are distinctly separate and a little different than signs. Signs are indicators that miracles are coming, that your season is coming. If I am looking to go shopping and I'm looking for a store, I'm looking for the sign that's going to mark where the store is. Now, if I'm actually trying to go shopping, who's going to stop and see the sign and then stop and say, oh, okay, there it is, I'm good? No, the sign is just an indicator that the real thing I'm looking for is through those doors. The real thing is beyond the sign. The sign just marks that I'm close, or I have arrived, and I'm getting ready to be in what I've been expecting to be in. God says, I'm giving you signs to let you know that this is the mark that your season and your time is here. And the problem is that we are not paying attention to the signs. You're still down and depressed because you've not seen the sign. You would be praising God. You would be walking in faith. You would change certain things if you saw the sign. God says, I've given you the mark that something is changing in your life, and we're ignoring it. We don't know. We're still moving the same way. What does Matthew chapter 16 say? Real quick. I just want you to know that God moves in signs very heavily. You can't ignore the signs. The Pharisees, verse 1, Matthew 16:1, the Pharisees also with the Sadducees came and tempting Jesus, that's important, desired him that he would show them a sign from heaven. No, so they really weren't expecting a miracle. They were testing Jesus. All right? So this is why this is different, right? He answered and said unto them, when it's evening, you say it'll be fair weather, for the sky is red, and in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, you can discern the face of the sky. Listen. But you cannot discern the signs of the times. So he has a problem with the fact that they can't discern the sign of what time it is. Jesus is clear. I expect you to be able to pay attention to my signs that I'm giving you. There's one of my favorite memes that is just hilarious to me, is somebody posted and said, I saw the red flags, but I thought it was a circus. In other words, I saw all the signs, but I ignored them, basically, is what that particular person is saying. And God is saying, I'm giving you every sign that I'm about to turn this season around for you. He goes on to say in Matthew chapter 16, a wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto you but the sign of the prophet Jonas, which is the cross, right? Why? He's saying the wicked and adulterous generation seeks after a sign for the wrong reason. You can't even discern the signs that I'm giving you. But now, because you're testing me, you want to ask me for a sign. I've been giving you signs. And you've been ignoring the signs. I want to warn you that there's always a sign that your season is turning. There's always a sign that God is about to turn things around for you. There's always a sign that you're in the season. It may just not be your time. God always gives you things to show you that your win, your WIN, is about to come. And so you're asking God, when is this going to happen for me? And God said, you don't see these signs? You're so caught up in your grief, you can't see that this is so ministering to me right now. I don't know who else this is ministering to, but you can't see that I'm about to turn this around for you, that you're this close. Listen, if you don't see the sign, the miracle will come and you'll be unprepared for it. That was good. Let me say it one more time. Listen, share this. I'm telling you again, share this with somebody. Don't be selfish. If you don't see the sign, it's not going to stop the miracle. The miracle will come and you won't be ready for it. When I tell you to drop nets and you drop one net, you'll almost lose all the fish because you weren't prepared. If you can't tell that something is about to turn around for you, I don't know what to tell you. The first time you went fishing, Jesus wasn't on your boat. Him being on the boat is a sign something is about to change. Something is about to shift. You're not prepared. You dropped one net, you almost lost everything. If you don't see the sign, then the miracle will come because he's going to keep his word, but you won't be prepared. Listen, this is what this means. It means get ready. You got to get ready for the win. You got to get ready for the miracle because it's coming. You got to be ready. Can I tell you that Mary and Elizabeth both got miracles? So Mary got her miracle first. By the time Elizabeth got hers, Elizabeth got her miracle first. By the time Mary got hers, Elizabeth was already about 6 months. Mary was just a fetus. But Mary was having trouble believing the miracle. Because, Lord, how? Which, by the way, brings me to wonder. Because miracles, signs, and wonders. And they all have little distinctions about them that is another teaching for another day. But Mary is experiencing a miracle and a wonder. Because, Lord, how? I haven't even known a man like this. Is the kind of miracle and wonder that could get me in trouble. It's dangerous because the people could stone me for being an adulterer, and my husband that I'm betrothed to. How can he believe this? You're telling me the Holy Ghost. Okay, no problem, Mary. The miracle is already in you. It's on the way, but I'm going to give you a sign. Go see your cousin Elizabeth. Go see Elizabeth is older. She's way past the time that she should be having a child. But you walk up on her, and when you walk up on her, not only do you see that this older lady is with child, which is another miracle, but as a sign to you, I'm showing you what I did for her. And by the way, when you walk up on her, the baby in her belly kicks and leaps, and it lets you know that you came carrying something that was bigger than you. That sign is what's about to help Mary get through her pregnancy. Now she can start preparing herself to carry baby Jesus, because before then she had this fetus, but if you know anything about a fetus, it's so small you really can't even feel that it's in you, besides the signs of a first trimester. So her stomach is not big, but she was given a sign to know that even though you haven't manifested the way Elizabeth had, it's time to go home, for you to go home and get ready, because it's coming. Your stomach is about to grow. I need you to understand that it's time for you to start preparing to carry and deliver what God said he would do. When, W-H-E-N, will I W-I-N. The time is coming. You can't ignore the signs. This miracle report that we read every Tuesday and every Sunday, come close. It's a sign. It means that if God is doing all of this with people's money, that you're in the season of wealth and wisdom, that you're in the season of winning. And so if you're in the season for it, don't ignore the signs, because what it means is your time is coming. Did y'all hear me? I'm trying to make it as clear as possible. I'm trying to make it as clear as possible. When you're hearing $51,908,105 that has been erased, you're hearing $660,000, $898,000 and 96 cents. It's ridiculous. All of these numbers that people are being blessed. And these are refunds. The second number is refunds. It means that we're in the season. Don't ignore the signs. So I'm hearing all of this. Why am I still sad? Oh no, I'm praising God. I'm getting ready because I know I just got a few more days to be broke. I got a few more days to until I get to my overflow. I got a few more days until my family comes together. I got a few more days until my body is healed. When you hear about our prayer leader, Sister Tony, being healed of cancer, that was a sign. You shouldn't ignore that. It means you got to get yourself ready because we're in the season of healing. These are signs that God is saying, I'm about to spin the block for you. I'm on my way. I'm on my way around the corner. I'm closing. When you see the signs, when you realize you've been marked, stop asking God when. Know that it's coming. You've been marked for a miracle. There are just two things you got to do and we're done. When you see the sign and you realize you've been marked for this miracle and that this win, this W-I-N is on the way, you must do number one, you must change your speech. Change the way you talk. Sometimes it's hard because you still want to talk based upon the reality that you feel like you're in, right? But perception is reality. I'm meditating on something else. My season is coming. I got to get ready for it. I'm about to change who I am and how I talk, even before I get it in my hands. Stop talking defeated when there is a win on the way. You're about to get victory, so stop talking like you're defeated. Death and life are in the power of your tongue. You shall eat the fruit thereof. Change your talk, even if it makes you look crazy because people will maybe say you're talking in a reality that they can't see. Who cares? There's a victory coming. Start talking like you're victorious. Change your speech. Type that. Last thing, and our time together is coming to a close. It's always a privilege. It's always an honor. The last thing is you got to change your actions. You got to already act like you're in victory before you feel like you have the victory. God has already given us the victory. The time has already been set. You're just walking into the time. You're already in the season. You've already been marked. You've been marked for greatness. And I want you to know the answer to your win. You're saying, God, when am I going to win? God said the time is drawing now. I'm praying for each and every one of you who are watching this tonight. And I'm going to say it one more time. Don't be selfish. Mothers, share this with your kids. Share this with your spouses. Share this with the people on your job. Share this with your aunts, your uncles, the people that go to your church. Whatever city, whatever state, whatever country, whatever continent you're on right now watching this, share this. I'm telling you, this is going to be the thing that is about to cause a chain reaction of victory to break loose. Pastor Keion has already declared this as the month of winning, and this is the year of wealth and wisdom. And you're there. Listen, I want you to get your hearts and minds, if you haven't been doing it already, this is the time. Don't wait. Don't act right now. Don't be reactive. I need you to be proactive. What you're about to give, what you're about to sow right now, hear me very well. It needs to represent not where you are, but it needs to represent where you're going. It needs to represent the victory that you know is on its way. God bless you as always. We are praying for our leader, Pastor Keion. We thank him for giving us this time together and sharing his platform. We keep him lifted. We love you. And as always, this is definitely your season to take action.
Hey everybody, my name is Pastor Keion Henderson. I am the founder of an organization called Take Action Now. People are always direct messaging me and texting me and saying, Pastor, what are you doing? How can I be a part of what you're doing? And I know everybody doesn't want to be a part of the local church, but what if I told you I had a way for you to partner with me so that we can affect change throughout the world? Hence, Take Action Now, a 501c3 nonprofit organization committed to advancing individual agency and social progress by protecting, strengthening, and uplifting the underserved and disenfranchised throughout the world. We're doing humanitarian things, teaching entrepreneurism, teaching home ownership, and institutional inequities, cultural deficits. We have our ear to the ground, and we need your help to make a difference. whether it is making a sizable donation to the estate of a young woman who lost her battle with cancer via the internet, and we were able to make a difference there, or whether it is in a underserved community in the Caribbean islands where the children were playing amidst rocks and glass, and we came in and broke ground recently on a park so that athletes and cheerleaders and young people in that community can have a safe place to stir up the gift inside of them. Whether it is paying the utility bills in cold climates for seniors, or just helping basketball players get the proper uniforms of football players, it's just us making a difference through financial literacy and technological empowerment and mentoring services. This is what we do. And all I'm asking you to do is become a partner with